This happened shortly after I turned 15 years old. As a birthday gift, my parents had given me an Xbox. I was even given my own monitor, which allowed me to play in my room. My room was upstairs, and in the weeks after my birthday I, of course, spent a lot of time up there. It was a Saturday night. I was talking in an Xbox party chat with two of my school friends. Both of my parents were out of town at a work convention for the weekend, so I was home alone. I had my headphone volume pretty loud, but during a pause in our conversation, I heard a thumping sound come from downstairs. If you've ever been home alone as a kid, you'll know that any abnormal sound gets your mind imagining the worst. I turned down the volume and took one headphone off my ear. Nothing happened for the next 5 minutes, but shortly afterward, I heard the same noise again. I told my two friends about it this time, and they both encouraged me to go check it out and joking how someone might have broken in, and I laughed and agreed to do it during the next break in our game. When I came, I took my headphones off and started walking towards the stairs. I began walking down them, and as I did, I began to hear soft whispering. I was only halfway down, but I completely froze up. I intently listened and trying to make out whether what I was hearing was actually real or not. Eventually, I crouched down to get a look into the living room. There I saw 4 fully grown men, all completely covered in black, silently walking around. I genuinely couldn't process what I was seeing. All I knew is that I had to get back upstairs. I slowly started crawling back up then, and of course one of the steps let out a loud creaking noise, and I go throughout the house before returning to silence. There was no way they didn't hear it. Thinking quick, I ran to my room, put on my headset, and told my friends to call the police to my house. They sounded confused and now in a serious tone as to what was going on. I didn't feel like I had enough time to explain, and so I just told them to hurry and threw my headset down on my desk. I knew that locking myself in my room would be an obvious sign that I was inside. I still locked the door and closed it behind me, but instead I hid in the bathroom further down the hallway with the light off and door slightly cracked open, so that they wouldn't think to check in. I could hear multiple sets of boots slowly walking up the stairs as I sat in silence. They kept getting louder until I could hear banging on my bedroom door down the hall. Not banging like trying to get my attention. Whoever was doing it was clearly trying to break down the door. Voices started yelling out, saying things like how I needed to open the door if I didn't want anything bad to happen to me. I was absolutely horrified. I got up and started desperately opening the bathroom window. I guess I made too much noise because a set of boots started heading down the hall. Just as the bathroom door fully opened, I managed to dive out of the window head first. I landed badly on my neck, but still managed to look back up at the bathroom window. A silhouette stood motionless, looking back at me. That's when the backyard door slid open, and 3 men came running out towards me. I tried getting up to run, but I couldn't in time. All 3 of them started grabbing me and pulling me back towards the house. By this would be interrupted by the distant sound of police sirens. The 3 of them stopped. They looked up at each other. They then sprinted to the backyard fence, climbed it, and I never saw them again. A few moments later, and the police showed up in the backyard. I told them which way the men had gone, to which a couple of them started off in that direction, while another stayed with me. The only man that was caught that night was the one inside the house. The other 3 that ran were never found. As police were asking me questions, my 2 friends who was playing Xbox with pulled into the driveway on their bikes. Even to this day, I still routinely thank them for calling the cops and likely saved my life. Found left behind in the house were 4 different knives and a couple fully loaded pistols.